Hi, everybody, and happy Monday night. And again, I'm not promoting these Monday nights very well. It's just one step at a time for me. Hold on, I'm going to grab a drink. Kombucha. I love kombucha. I don't know if you've had it, but I love it. And if you live in Colorado Springs or the Denver area, there's a company called Kombucha, Kombucha, and they are amazing. They make their own kombucha. Oh no, it's Trubucha. That's right. Trubucha, Trubucha, and it's excellent. And if you buy their glass bottles, which they make you do, and then you just clean them and you come back and you can just keep refilling it. And a lot of times you can find them at farmers markets. But anyway, if you don't live in Colorado, you're like, what does that have to do with tonight? Well, actually, it has everything to do with tonight. Because tonight we're going to be talking about creative ways to connect with potential customers and clients. And we all want that. We all want more people. And so I call it creating a touch point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, just different ways that you can get your name out in front of people. Because we all know there's like the rule of 7 in marketing, where it says it takes like 7 times before you can get in front of somebody, 7 times for you to get in front of somebody before they convert into a customer or a client. And whatever, with technology changing so much, I don't know if it's still 7 times or whatever, but I know it's a lot faster. You don't have as long to capture their attention. But you want to be able to create touch points so that you're always in front of a potential client's face. And sometimes it's kind of hard to know how to do that. So in 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to talk about creative ways in which to create touch points. And I'm going to try to bring in a couple different industries just to get your mind going and coming up with ideas. So as I mentioned the kombucha company before, that is one way that you can get your name out there, is have your raving fans, your friends, and your family mention you and tell others about you. Obviously, that's the oldest way. Word of mouth, though, is the best way to create a touch point with people, because it creates trust, and people are more likely to do business with somebody through word of mouth, through a referral. And so any way that you can create touch points through referrals is a great way to do that. And the best way to do that, just say, oh, I don't want to ask my friends and family. It sounds like direct sales marketing. Well, I suppose in a way it is, but you can be a lot more tactful with it. So maybe in social media, there are, maybe you're in the same industry with somebody, and there's always going to be differences to your businesses. So like and comment and share each other's posts. On your social media channel, don't be afraid of competition. You should be reaching out to other business owners within your community and engaging with them on social media. And I know we don't have a lot of time, so I'm not talking about like all day long, but maybe every couple of days, just set your timer for 10 minutes and go and engage on social media with them. And over time, you may find that they're going to reciprocate that. And if not, go to them and ask, hey, would you mind mentioning my business every once in a while? I'm happy to do it for you. And that's one way that you can create a touch point. Another way to be creative in connecting with potential clients is you need to consider your audience. And so if I'm not going to go through that again, but you can look at week 1 and the video, and I talk a lot about finding your target audience, and we're going to talk about it a lot more, and it's going to be on my YouTube channel, which, by the way, it is up. I just don't have any videos uploaded to it, so if you guys can go and like my channel, I'll put a link in there tonight if I remember. And then I've already made about 5 videos. I'll get those edited and uploaded. But after you consider your audience, think about how your audience would want to interact with you. So let's talk about the pest control company. I talked about him last week. How can he connect with potential clients? So I started to think, well, what he could do is he could either do a like a live day where he invites moms out with their kids and teaches people how to build an ant farm. Or he can do a video on how to build an ant farm and then post that to Facebook and YouTube and Pinterest. You know, that is one way to connect with people. Email is the best way that we have to connect with potential clients. So even if you're not sure how to do an email campaign yet, start collecting emails now. Even if you're not going to use them right away, obviously the idea would be that you would, but go ahead and collect them now, because email is the best way to connect with potential customers. So retail, let's talk about retail. What if you're in retail? How do you connect? And I know that can be particularly frustrating. I used to be in retail, and with e-commerce, that has really dinged retail quite a bit, but it doesn't mean it's dead. Women still love to go out and shop, and it's getting harder to get them to come out and shop because we're so busy, and we're and you know, Amazon's just so quick, and there's e-commerce sites like crazy. So you're gonna have to be creative, especially in the retail industry, to connect people. And one way that I created a touch point with new customers when I had my shop was I partnered with another boutique, and she was actually like 3 blocks away, and we were on opposite side. We were kind of like in a tourist place. We were in old Colorado City in Colorado Springs, and I was on one end and she was on the other, and we had a similar target audience, not exactly the same, but we saw the benefit in kind of partnering. And so in our window displays, she would display a mannequin dressed in mostly her product, but then she would include boots, which came from my store. In my store, I sold dresses and boots, and I also sold some Western jeans and t-shirts, but I didn't really carry pants. I didn't want to. I mean, like I said, I did a few jeans. But she carried lots of pants, and she carried, you know, more boho dresses. I had the Western boho dresses, so we didn't really want to compete on the dress end, but we both found things that we had different. And so she took my boots and displayed them in her window, and I took her pants, displayed them in my window with some of like my t-shirts and blouses that I had. And then if people came in and asked, we would say, oh, you could go visit Barracuda Bazaar down the street. And she did the same for me. If somebody was like, oh, those are the best boots, she'd be like, well, go see Laura down at Rocky Mountain Cowgirl. And that is one way to do that. Don't be afraid of competition. You guys can find anything that is different. There are no 2 stores that are exactly alike. So partner together and find ways to just, and again, it's a touch point. You just want to get your name out, and you want people saying your name and telling your name to other people. Okay, let's say you're a writer. Well, how are you going to create a touch point? Again, you have to be kind of a little creative, but what about starting a book club? And, you know, not exactly promoting yourself and your writings in the book club, but you're just gathering people together that have a common interest that you know are your target market. That's why it's so important to really have a clear understanding of who your target market is, because you need to know where they are and where they hang out, and then how can you hang out with them. And I know some of these are a little more time, it takes much more of a time investment, so they're not going to be practical for everybody, but maybe for somebody. So if you start a book club and you establish a rapport, and then you can build yourself up and build a following, and then people, as they get to know you and they get to know your writings, and then they're going to become raving fans. And that's the point of touch points. That's the whole goal, is creating raving fans. And even if they're not buying from you right away, if you have followers, people are always going to follow you. Eventually, they're going to get to a point where they're ready to have you, to bring you on as somebody that they're going to be doing business with. So some other ways, social media obviously is the big way And like I said, go on. That is the easiest way right now that you can do today, tonight, is go find at least one other business owner and share their post, share their business. And then, they'll appreciate that. And then maybe after a week or two, if they haven't shared anything of yours, maybe you can just go to them and say, hey, would you mind? I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to get my name out there a little bit and start building some connections that way. Email, get those emails. Networking, if you are in business, especially if you're a coach or you offer a service, you have got to carve out time for networking. So Microbusiness Mentor is that's kind of my give back thing. It's not where I do my business. I build websites, I write blogs, I do email marketing. That's where I earn my money, and I get my customers by networking, and it's 100% word of mouth. And so if you are in a service industry like that, where you build websites or you offer some type of service, whether you're cutting hair, I would love to meet some hairstylists in professional networking events. And I'm not talking about, I'm talking professional networking events, chambers of commerce, professional women networking events where people are serious about getting to know each other, getting to know the community, building into the community. You have got to be taking that time. You need to make that a priority, even if it's once a month, a minimum once a month. You need to be doing that. And then events. Can you host events? So I have a typewriter business as well, and we're not ready to grow much faster right now just because we do not have the systems in place, which we will be talking about creating systems. But once we get some systems in place, I plan on hosting what's called a type-in, where I'll go to a coffee shop and I'll bring some typewriters and I'll invite people, writers and other people who might be interested in that, to come in and to type or to bring their own typewriters. It's a free event, but it's just building community, creating a touch point. So think of events that you could do with your business. Are you a photographer? Maybe invite other professional photographers together to do something. And then you guys can brainstorm as a group, or you can do a free photography clinic once a quarter or something like that to help people. So let me tell you about Simon, and then after this we'll be done for tonight. But Simon was a photographer that moved to my area when I had my boutique, and he did not know anybody, and so he needed to build his photography business. And if you are in photography, you know that it's highly competitive, and it is based 100% on relationship. Few people are going to go out and just hire a photographer sight unseen. They need to hear raving reviews from their fans. So what Simon did is he decided to start a blog, and he came to each of the businesses at the time I was in Old Colorado City, and he went to every business in Old Colorado City and said, I'm starting a blog about Old Colorado City. May I take photos of your store and your products and write a blog post about it? What? Nobody said no to that. And that is how Simon built his business, from not knowing anyone. And he went to everybody, and then he did it for downtown, and now he's got his own studio downtown. He's got classes. So he was brilliant in marketing, and all he did was go out and do touch points, and he did that for free, but it built his business. So, and then a couple other ideas: start a Facebook group. So for example, for my typewriting business, I started a typewriters group, not about the typewriter. It was about it, but it's about writers who use typewriters. So it's called Typewriters. And so generating interest that way. And so whatever your industry is, I'm trying to think, maybe even you clean houses. Well, why not start a Facebook page that has all these house tips? They're those types, and you're on Pinterest and you're doing pins and on Pinterest about clever ways to take gum out of carpet or whatever, and that's how you're going to build fans. And you may build fans and people interested outside of where you're working, but again, it's just creating a touch point. So, and I noticed several of you have gotten on at the end. I'm just closing up, but I hope you go back and watch the full video, because I just gave several specific ideas for different industries on how creative ways to connect with your customer. And so, again, most of us as micro business owners don't have a lot of time, and I encourage you this week to think of one way that you can connect with your customer. And if you need ideas, message me below. I'll brainstorm with you. And then try it for a while, and if that works and you get that involved in your system, then step out and do another way. I hope this helps, and I hope you all have a great evening, and know that I pray for all of you, and may you have a blessed day. Bye.